focusing on, thank you, sir. We were focusing on the pre-launch call. And sometimes what happens is that we get very, we fall back on what we know, or we get very good at following a direction. And that's important because you got to be able to move and dance to the same music if you're looking to create something very significant. You know, there's a great parable about the Tower of Babel. And in that story, I remember it because it was about confusing the language. And if the language wasn't confused, they were going to build this thing into the sky. But it wasn't until there was discord and disharmony that the building of this monumental piece was completely disrupted. And so there is a simplicity to singing to the same music. That being said, what's important to me is that I understand your come from, because it helps me to help you, help me, help you. Sorry, Jerry Maguire. So it helps me to better serve you when I know your come from. So I'm going to ask you all to do a couple of things, because see, some of you, you have more years under your belt than some of the people have been alive on the call. Some of you have had so much exposure and experience over the years that you almost begin to anticipate what's going to take place. And when you do that, it takes a little bit of the juice out of the experience, right? So I'm going to ask you to have a lot of trust in the things that I'm laying out and how I'm doing things. And it's going to be a little bit like Miyagi sometimes. You're not going to know why the hell I'm doing or asking you to do what I'm asking you to do. And that's when I'm going to need you to trust me. Some of you may have moments where you roll your eyes because you feel like I've been here and done this already, right? That's kind of a default setting. It's just a natural part when you've been doing something for an extended period of time. So for example, in martial arts, I was a student of Kempo, and it used to really annoy me when my sensei would have me do the same kick, the same kata over and over and over and over again. And me being this young, bushy-eyed, bright-eyed student, I wanted to be really good. So I went 7 days a week, but I couldn't understand why he was having me do all this repetition, and it just got boring. And then at one point, I had a moment where I was like, why am I doing this? And before I could finish the S sound on this, I was on the ground and he was standing over me because he wanted to communicate to me the importance of being present in the moment so that I could become a better practitioner of this art form. So you'll hear me say this a couple of times, and for those of you that are listening to the recording. So let me start with this. One, I would love to know, and you can, if you would like to unmute yourself, that would be great. If you want to type it in the chat, that's fine too. I would only ask if my brother Eddie T, if he could take a screenshot of what is posted in the chat so I could read it later. I may not be able to read all of them now. I just want to know why you're here. I would like, why are you here? Why are you taking time and making this a priority in your life to get on a tone setting call in the morning, and then you're spending time throughout the course of the day toward a specific outcome? Can someone just share with me why you're here?
Hello, Ed. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Who is that?
This is Edward Gary from Dayton, Ohio.
How you doing, sir? Go ahead.
I'm fantastic. But the reason why I'm here is because I was given a mission to accomplish back in 2014, and I've been looking for many years an opportunity so I could be a blessing to a lot of people. I've been fortunate to have somewhat of great success in my life as an individual, own my own business, wonderful family, friends all over the world, and but I realized that everyone didn't have the type of maybe skill set that I had, professional driver and all of that. And so I've known Ed Terra Nova since 2007. We met in a formal company. And for the last 5 or 6 years or so, we've been looking for an opportunity where we could absolutely help a lot of people. There's been moments during the last few years where we thought we had found what we're looking for, but we are assured to believe that this is the vehicle that's going to allow us to help and complete that task. So that's the main reason why I'm here. And because of the leadership, I know John McKellar, Ed Terranova, getting to know Scotty, and I'm glad for all of you that are here today. Just a word of encouragement, maybe for you. I was speaking to someone, and once I mentioned your name, it was game over for them. So they were ready to take a look at the opportunity. So thank you for what you're doing.
I appreciate that share. So Gary, Edward, I would say it sounds like you have some unfinished business.
Absolutely.
Okay, I appreciate that. Sanaa, you said I will do something every day that my future and other people's future will thank me for, and have fun and loving on the road together with awesome people. I will do something every day that my future. Sanaa, can you tell me a little bit more about that? I'm not sure exactly what that means, because you could just be a volunteer at a church or a civic organization, and you could do that.
Yes.
So yes,
Well,
go ahead.
Hi from Sweden. It's dark here now, but well, I want to do something that a game changer for people's lives, especially people here in the north of Europe. We need some more fun, some more sun, some more money, some more freedom, because people work a lot and they don't have any time. And that was even before COVID. But now when this thing happened in the world, I can see people going on their knees and struggle with, well, companies that don't work anymore, and well, a lifestyle that you can bring to other people, and some at the same time you can have an opportunity by yourself. So help other people and you help yourself.
Fantastic. I love the succinctness of what it was that you're saying. You said more fun, more sun, and more freedom. I love that. And you obviously talked about people that are time broke and certainly wanting to have more income so they can have more of that freedom. Thank you for that share. Someone else, unmute yourself and tell me why you are here, please.
Rolf from Chicago.
Okay, Rolf, how you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Doing good. Yeah, I'm driving. I'm always driving. So I'm headed somewhere right now. But couple things. I like the turnkey process. I have brought 2 new products to market through Shark Tank, and
Wow.
It's a lot of work. So I've had 2 successful companies that one I sold, the other one I actually emerging right now with a group out of California. And if you've never brought a product to market as new development and go through all the patents and just the whole play of the marketing and everything else, it's a lot of work. I love it. I love new product development, but I also like opportunities that are something like this, where it's more turnkey. Your platform is set and I can jump in and kind of run with it quicker with my network, opposed to, starting up another product. So, I may have another product down the road. It's possible. I got a couple more thoughts, but I like this, and I'm a big fan of Scotty's. I've known Scotty for a couple of years now, and he's you know, a solid guy, and I believe in him. I don't know a lot about you. I have read your resume. It looks really cool. So I see the team starting to form. And in order for a successful group, because this is a group deal, really, you got to bring in the right people. So you're surrounding good people like Scotty and some of the other people like you and the other guys that are the founders. So as you build that, a CEO can't do everything. You got to fill the shoes at different areas, and I'm seeing it happening.
Rolf, I love the pragmatism of your come from. You speak as a successful business owner. Obviously, if you've launched 2 things on Shark Tank, that's that's huge. And the practicality of it, knowing and understanding that in this business model, you're right, the company is responsible for providing the support and the product, and our job is simply to share the information and identify to the best of our ability people who are qualified to be a part of what we're doing, whether as customers or as difference makers. So thank you for that perspective. It's rare that we get a chance to encounter someone that has that level of exposure that you've had, you know, from a Shark Tank perspective, that can really help us understand all of the details and intricacies and manpower and work that goes into launching something. And so it helps people that are here appreciate more the fact that, like, really, we just talking about traveling and having fun and making money. Like it's not rocket science. So I appreciate that perspective. Thank you for that, Rolf.
Thank you.
Anyone else can you unmute while I'm looking at the chat? Can you unmute yourself and tell me why you're here?
Hey, Ed, this is Scotty in Louisville.
Yes, sir.
Hey, great morning to you, brother.
Good morning.
Yeah. You know, many years ago when I was very young, I always felt this pull to want to make a difference in people's lives. And I knew it very early in my life, but I couldn't quite quantify exactly what it meant. And anytime I'd see like a dead animal on the road, something had been hit by a car, I mean, I just felt so bad about seeing that. When I see trash on the ground, see people who are malnourished dying because they just don't have enough to eat. These things always touch me. And I know they touch a lot of people, but it touched me so much. I was like, I've got to find a way that I can make a difference in our world in these areas that interest me. I wasn't going to get a big corporate job. It didn't interest me. I was a drummer, just an okay drummer, a swimmer, but no Michael Phelps. And I was trying to find a way that I could make something happen. Then I saw multi-level marketing. And when I saw it, I mean, it literally the first event I went to, which was just within a couple of months of joining my first company, I literally walked into that event and it hit me like one of those aha moments. I knew I'd found the home, the vehicle, the place for me to be able to do what I wanted to do. But at the same thing, something happened, Ed, and that was I realized that it's so much bigger than just me. It's the ability for me to help others to be able to have some of the things in the life they want, so that whatever it is that touches their heart, whether it's dealing with autism, whether it's dealing with some other type of medical ailment or something totally non-related, but the ability to put them in a position where they could do more for the things that touch their heart. And so it was like a clearing of the clouds in the sky, and the sun just comes out bright and the sky is blue. And I just knew this was it. Now, I will say that at the time, I had no idea that all network marketing companies didn't go on to become an Amway. I thought they all were going to be an Amway, you know,
Right.
a little bit of a rude awakening. But, you know, what I did find then along the way is that, man, it doesn't matter how much you know or how much you've done in the past. If you're not learning, if you're not continually feeding yourself, then you're dying. And so as soon as Eric shared about you coming on here and doing this 5 days a week, I said, I mean, barring something that's like literally got me pinned down to a bed in a hospital and they won't give me a computer, I'm going to make this every morning because I got to learn. So, you know, it's that continual feeding, because my mission is nowhere near complete, brother. And I'm just so fortunate that you're here, and I know everybody else is as well. So, you know, we all got to continue to grow and learn. And I think that's probably the biggest reason here. So whatever it is that touches our hearts, we can do more of that.
Wow. That's you're speaking to a lot. And I think for those of you that maybe you're brand new to this level or this type of business model and experience, or those of you that maybe haven't had the type of success that you know you are capable of, Scotty, you hit some of the most important points on what makes this business model work, which is if you truly have a heart for serving other people, if it really turns you on to see other people win and watch other people become successful, then you're going to win, and you're going to win big, provided that you have the right level of work ethic and mental toughness, which we'll get into later. But the fact, Scotty, that you have been working in this space for a good period of time, and you still have the freshness of wanting to identify other people to serve and impact these years later, it speaks to the calling. See, that's a calling. There's a difference between a career and a calling. A career is something that you are built for. You have a facility and a skill set that enables you to do what you do successfully. You know it. You could do it with your eyes closed, and you can make money at it. And that's a career, and that's cool. A calling is something that you can't help. It's something that no matter what happens, good or bad, no matter how many obstacles and storms that you have to go through and encounter, there's nothing that's going to deter you from answering the calling on your life. And time is immaterial. So this is why you'll see certain people like a TD Jakes, for example, or a Joyce Meyer, individuals in their 70s who still get up every single morning with enthusiasm and energy and excitement to go out here and impact the planet. You know, I can give a bunch of other examples that just came first to mind. But let me address Sharon, and then I want to go to Eric Allen. So Sharon, you talked about leaving a legacy for your children, and travel. You wanted to get traveling again. I'm pulling up the chat now. I was just trying to remember what I read. Giving back to local communities here in South Africa, eliminate poverty in Africa. So the legacy and doing something that is world changing, eliminating poverty in your country. Why this particular business model for you? You could be a flight attendant, and you could just ask people on the plane. You could say, hey, I'm raising money to end poverty in my country. You get some people to bite on that. You could just be a flight attendant and travel and have a good time. Why this particular business model?
Thanks, Ed. First of all, I'm too short to be a flight attendant, so that's out. But on a serious note, you know, I was building a legacy for my children with a previous company, long story, but you know, I thought that was my home. That's where I was meant to be. I've owned my own travel company for the last 33 years. My passion is travel. My passion is seeing other people create memories around the globe. So for me, it's just something I've absolutely always loved. And when I didn't have my previous company, I was missing out on the travel because I was traveling so often. So I felt like I'd lost me. I'd lost part of Sharon. In the last sort of 3 years, and then with COVID, I felt like I wasn't me again. And I was just looking for that. And that included the network marketing space, because I absolutely believe in residual income. Anybody who doesn't look at residual income, I think is absolutely crazy. And it was residual income plus the travel. And again, when I look at the leadership, I know John McKillop, I've known him for about 10 years. I know yourself, I know Ed Terranova, Eric himself. So, you know, I knew I was in the right place at the right time. So I really felt like I'd come home. And when I look at the costing involved to get in, I just know that it's an opportunity where the rest of Africa can get in at really a low cost. It's not expensive to join the club, whether you're doing the business or customer or both. It's really the best deal out there. So for me, we can take this and really, really assist people in South Africa to earn an income. You know, the average household here is $350, $400 a month. I mean, that is nothing. So really to just be able to eliminate the poverty across Africa, to me, is close to my heart. I absolutely love giving back and always will, but I want to do a share with you, Ed. My son lives in Thailand and he was on the call last night, the soft launch, and I got a WhatsApp afterwards from him saying, "You didn't say Ed Blunt, Mom, was in this too." So he's so excited because he was trained by you at the age of 13 and 14. And now I'm getting quite emotional, but you've really made a difference in so many people's lives. And to have you here is just a blessing to all of us.
Thanks. I appreciate that share. And thank you for sharing more of the insight from someone who obviously was born to be in the travel space and having the amount of exposure and experiences that you've had. It only lends greater credibility to everything that we do here. So thank you for that. I know Eric Allen wanted to jump in and he wanted to kind of tag on to something that's maybe Scotty prompted it, but I would love to hear from Mr. Allen.
Well, hey, no, actually, I'm just like blown away by the heart and spirit of the few people already who've shared their story. I mean, to attract those types of people before even officially day one is really, really special. I mean, for me, Ed, I'm one of those guys, like probably a lot of the people on this call. I've always tried to do the best at whatever I can. In that season of my life, personally, professionally, I've certainly fallen short many, many times. But I'll tell you what, when I saw this particular business model, I think in the beginning, like everybody's like, oh, you can make a lot of money, you can have time freedom, residual income. But I'll tell you what, I instantly fell in love with when it really clicked is, just having the ability to truly transform other people's lives, to sit down with somebody and share your heart and look them in the eye and say, I will do everything I can to help you be as successful as you want to be, up to and including, maybe reaching some even higher goals than I have. And it just seemed like, everything else that I was chasing the last, 30 years, that you always reached a ceiling. It's like, and it wasn't a ceiling so much financially or time limitations, although we can all relate to that. It was just a ceiling and how many people can I really impact? And impacting one life is phenomenal. Having the ability to, permeate that throughout countless lives around the world, like this platform offers, that's what just really drives me. And it's interesting because the last couple of years, the outside looking in, some of our traditional businesses have been doing really, really well. And, it always kind of bothered me. People like, man, you're so lucky things are going well for you. But I was dying inside. I don't jump out of bed to go make a sale or some of the things that the corporate world involves. And it's so funny. My wife just the other day, she's like, I haven't seen you work this hard in a long, long time, but you've got your fire back. You got your spark back. And it's really you, the people that gets me jumping out of bed. You just don't know what each new day will bring. That next meeting, that next connection, that next Zoom call could be the one that not only changes your life, but the life of that person that you're connecting with. So that's just what really drives me. And, and I hope others can relate to that. And I think when this really gets inside of you, it's so much more than just an opportunity or a home-based business or a way to make money or residual income. It's just, we talk that word legacy kind of lightly, but man, when we leave this world, how many people are really going to show up to your funeral? How many people are really going to say, man, that person, because they were willing to reach out and make a genuine connection, had a profound impact on my life. So that's what really drives me. And I'm confident will drive a lot of other people once this really, gets inside of them. So thanks for letting me share.
Absolutely. And your point about being in a position which a lot of you obviously can relate to, where a lot of you are already successful in something else, in whatever that lane is outside of this business that you're doing. A lot of you are already making really good money. You may not be fired up about what it is that you do. And so being a part of something that, as Eric said, can get you out of bed and keep you up late at night because you're genuinely plugged in to this process, that's where the magic happens. So I think that's a really valuable share. Hold on one second, Arnold. I'm coming to you. I want to say this. Number one, we'll go over a few minutes today Number two, I want you all to understand something. This is really, really, really important. We're at the beginning of something, and what is essential is that you be confident in your capacity. And if you don't have it, you can use mine until yours kicks in. You can use your support team or your support leader. You plug into what you need to plug into. Because what I'm looking at is the individuals who show up every morning and they're plugged in, because it allows me to identify who's who. And what happens in a lot of instances when you're bringing people together is people can rally around excitement. They can rally around positive energy. And those things are important, but they're not sustainable if you don't have purpose, if you don't understand your reasons as to why you're here. So there is a pruning of what we're doing, because when I was diligently developing, people would ask me, I would get this question probably more than any other question. How did you develop so many annual seven-figure income earners or annual multiple six-figure income earners and a crappy compensation plan? Like, how the heck did you do that? Because I was willing and am willing to take the time to get to know why people are here. Anybody, again, can get you fired up and then tell you to go do something. But do you understand that that is not sustainable? Yeah, we can just tell you what to do and get some good money, like up front. That's easy. But you know what? The law of diminishing return. What happens is, if all you have is energy and excitement and you get some paychecks and then you show that to somebody else and then they do it, but people just do less than what you do anyway. What happens is there's no purpose other than showing somebody a paycheck or talking about how cool the travel club is. Those things that's a given. I'm telling you all, it's the easiest part of what we're going to be doing. I promise you that. The most important part of what we're going to be doing is developing your point of view. Some of you are very clear on your point of view. Some of you are going to be getting clearer on your point of view. And I promise you, when you have a definitive point of view, doesn't mean that it can't change, doesn't mean that it won't evolve. When you have a definitive point of view, you give somebody something to follow. See, Sharon cannot get on this call and talk about wanting to reshape legacy, wanting to end or eradicate or to dramatically impact the poverty in her country without being that herself, without showing up for herself. And see, when she sits down and gets on the phone and talks to a prospect, a potential customer, a potential business partner, they're looking at her. They're not looking at the club.travel. They're not looking at the website. They're not looking at all the cool benefits that come with the membership. They're looking at her. They're feeding off of her. And the clearer she is in her point of view, the greater the opportunity for someone to say, you know what, I'm not quite sure what I see, but I like what she sees, and I'm going to follow her until I figure out where I'm going. You understand? This is the difference. I've seen it over and over again. People, they come in, they throw some people in, they're excited, and all those people, they disappear. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. When we bring people in, they're going to want to stay, even if they don't know why they're fully here, because of the point of view and the clarity that you bring to the table. Arnold, go ahead. You got your hand raised.
Hey, Ed, how you doing, my friend?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good, good. You know, I've been sitting here thinking and listening to everybody else's reasons, and I wasn't going to say anything, to be quite frank with you, but something that Scotty said, you know, really kind of resonated with me. He felt like, you know, he's had a calling to help people, and I definitely feel like I've had that calling since a very young age, just like he did. You know, everything I've done in my life, I've been kind of, without me trying, I've been prompted and I've been pushed by, in my opinion, the Lord to a leadership position. I mean, it was in high school, as in football. I got pushed to captaincy without even asking for it. I mean, in church, I got pushed to, a leadership role there without even asking for it. And the more I've been pushed into that leadership role, the more I've embraced it and the more I've come to enjoy it and love it. And I truly love helping people. And for the last 6 or 7 years, I felt like I was helping people in the financial markets. And it was a struggle because you see people that want to succeed, but really struggle to succeed. And for the last 3 years, I really felt like I found my niche and we were really helping people greatly. But without getting into too much detail with and circumstances way outside my control, that came crashing to the ground just back in July. And I feel like it's divine intervention why I'm here, because it was shortly after that is when Eric Allen reached out to me. I mean, we're talking just a couple of weeks after that. And I was in a place after that happened. This was the most devastating business thing that had ever happened to me. We're still somewhat dealing with it, but it was devastating. And all I wanted to do was crawl in a hole, hide in the closet, fly under the radar. Never wanted to talk to anybody ever again. Never wanted to be involved with anybody ever again. I just want to do my own thing, do my own trading on the internet. I could just hide in the closet and do that if I wanted to. But again, it came back to my calling. It's in my nature to want to help people. And when Eric reached out to me, I even told him straight up, I said, dude, I'm just not in the headspace right now to be able to get out there and help people and market to people and just be out there again. I just can't do that right now. So we had that conversation, and this was way back in, he first called me, I think it was earlier mid-August, and told me what was going on here. And it was just on the very, very beginning stages then. And I just told him, I'm just not in the headspace, bro. And he goes, dude, I get you. I know what you're going through. I hear you. No worries. I'll just keep you up to date. Well, he called me back probably 6 weeks later, 4 to 6 weeks later, and my headspace was starting to clear up a little bit. And he said, dude, we're getting into soft launch. This is what we're doing. This is who's involved. I've known Eric Allen for almost 15 years. Phenomenal dude. He and I have become very, very good friends. He told me, John McKillop was the president CEO. I knew John from reputation. We got on a call. I got to meet him and talk to him, saw his vision, saw his big picture. And then he told me you were getting involved. And the fact that it's travel, I have passion with travel. My family has passion with travel. And we truly believe that we can help a lot of people with this, because it's like Eric always says, it's an inherent yes. It's something that everyone wants to do. Everyone wants to enjoy. People can experience things through this platform that they just wouldn't normally experience. And on top of that, we have a pretty cool financial reward attached to it that can really help a lot of people too. So that's kind of why I'm here. I wasn't planning on being here, to be quite frank with you. Again, I got pushed into this. I got prompted to do this. Everything, just the timing was absolutely perfect. I was talking to my business partner about this just the other day. Just think if, what we were doing before that crashed was doing so well, I would have never even looked at this, because we were doing so incredibly well. But the way things were working out, it was inevitable that was going to crash at some point, whether it was now, whether it was 6 months from now, whether it was a year from now. It was inevitable. It was going to crash. Well, if it crashed later than it actually did, I would have missed out on this opportunity. Now, the opportunity still would have been good 6 months from now or a year from now, but it's the best right now. And so that's why I just feel like it's divine intervention that I'm here now. I'm here with you guys. I'm here with Eric Allen. Eric and Allen, we've known each other for 15 years. We've never actually worked together. We finally get to work on a project together. You and I, Ed, same thing. We've known each other now for probably 6 or 7 years, and we've never worked on a project together. Now we finally get to work on a project together. So it's just like the timing and everything is just working out absolutely perfectly. And I don't believe in coincidences in any way, shape, or form. This is not a coincidence that this is happening, and this is happening now. So I'm excited to be here.
That's awesome. I appreciate the fact that you were not planning on saying anything, but you ended up saying something. I think sometimes we talk ourselves out of opportunities to share a part of ourselves or a part of our story, and then we miss out on how that could positively impact somebody else. And there are people that were commenting, Arnold, as you were talking about the relatability to your story as you were sharing it. So that's a teachable moment for everybody here. Arnold almost didn't open his mouth, and had he not opened his mouth, he would not have connected with some of the other leaders on this call that can relate to his come from, to now understand that that's confirmation that they're where they're supposed to be. And the vulnerability that you shared coming out of your own personal business tsunami, respect to you for that, because that is a part of the entrepreneurial journey. We're going to get our asses kicked sometimes. We're going to get knocked down plenty of times. And then you just got to keep getting back up and getting back in the game. Because again, if you don't have a point of view, when you get knocked down, you'll stay down. You will check out, you will wimp out, you will punk out, and you will be left out. So good, really, really good stuff. Just a couple of more minutes. I want to talk to Hank Williman. Is that right? Hank Williman. So you said more. Yeah, the word more is capitalized. More travel, more fun, more money, more meeting, more adventure, more relationships, more options, more freedom, more peace of mind, more charity, more love, more difference making, more. So you clearly have a value system that is hardwired for prosperity, abundance, and impact. Give me a little bit of sense of as to why this particular experience, because again, you could do all of those things in any particular venue. Why are you here, and why is more such a strong word for you?
Well, thanks for picking on me this morning, Ed. Pleasure to be here. You know, I was writing in the chat when you asked why I was here. I was writing in the chat. You know, there's just so many layers to my response. And then I heard, I think it was Sarita or Santa, I don't remember, from Sweden. And, you know, I heard the word more pop in there. And I've actually branded myself. I started the More Group and wanted to brand myself for it to transcend companies over the course of my career. So there's just a lot of different things I could respond in that way, Ed. But it is about more, and not in a way where, you know, I'll never reach a destination. It's about being more and helping people. I tell people, you know, when I help them create their list, I say, you know, who do you want to walk the beaches of the world with? Who do you want to be in your cruise cabin with when you wake up in the morning? Who do you want in your cruise cabin? So now I've never been in travel in this industry. So now it's like, who do I literally want to walk the beaches of the world with? So, and that means that I need to achieve more for myself and for others. So it's really multi-layered, Ed, but it is a, you know, the first page out of the Eric Worre playbook. You know, when you go to his GoPro event, the first thing he does is, you know, why is this a better way? So it's in my DNA. I've been doing this for 15 years, and I want more. I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve thus far. And so this is a move. My whole career has led me to this point, and I want more for myself. I want more for others. I want more freedom. You know, as you could read in the chat, I want more, and I want to become more. So it's just out of a place of love. I want more people in my life. I want more relationships, more fulfillment, more freedom, all of that. And I think most of us do, and I want to help people do that. And then I will say, finally, more learning is very important. And I'll say that when you get the link to this Zoom, Ed Blunt, you can pull it up on your laptop, and in the right-hand corner, it will allow you to download multiple files. And one of those multiple files will have the copy of the chat. So there's some more learning for you and all of us as well.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that share. And because that is a through line of your come from, that creates a level of accountability in terms of how you're going to be showing up in your life. And we'll talk more about it. We won't get into it now, Hank, but we'll talk about it from your health and your wellness. We'll talk about it from your relationships. We'll talk about it from your impact on family. I don't know your situation at all. You and I are just talking now, but that's a great place to start, is that aspect of expanding. So one more person that we're gonna bring in for a landing. Jenna, you had your hand raised. Do you still have your hand raised? Is it Jenna Was it Stone?
Yes, thank you for letting me share. So I'm going to make it short and sweet. I don't know any of you here, okay? But I'm excited to get to know you all, okay? I have been coaching and I am I've been retired. I'm a retired educator, but I'm not here to talk about me because I love to chat belly to belly, right? I like to get to know each of you over time, not overnight. And I don't want you guys know everything about me overnight, but I do want to share something. What drew me, other than my passion for travel, which those who know me well know that I am Greek. We talked about Greece. I love to eat. I'm from Astoria, Queens. That's just a little bit of a tidbit, okay? New York City, I live in the Hamptons now. And we built a life. We built a life that you don't need a vacation from. But here's the funny part. I love to travel and I love to eat. So that being said, I did want to share something that caught my eye this morning, and I'm very big on personal development. So Ed, I absolutely adore you for doing these in the morning, because this actually helps people broaden their horizons. And you have to have an imagination. If you don't have an imagination in this world, you're always going to feel trapped. Okay, because we like to travel in our minds also. Remember, as a kid, all you did was dream. And then you became an adult. Adulting's hard. All you're doing is working, you go to school, you go to work, and you pay bills. I was very fortunate also. I think, I forgot who said earlier that they fell into network marketing very early. I've been in this space for over 25 years. I am a former educator though. I mean, I got my master's, my MBA in finance, and guess what? It is lining the birdcage right now, okay? I learned more outside school than I did in school. So Jim Rohn, formal education will get you a job. Self-education will make you a fortune. So I absolutely not just love that this is a travel company, because I don't sell travel companies or products. I sell hopes and dreams. People follow me because of who I am, not because of what I do. But it's funny, we always ask, what is your name and what do you do? And what I say is, my name is Jenna Stone and I'm a dream builder. What do you do? And that's how I always, invite people to ask me more. So what I wanted to just say was, if you look at the people in your circle and don't get inspired, then you don't have a circle, you have a cage. Each of you here have inspired me today. Mr. Blunt, I absolutely love your energy. And you said you were from New York, baby. So I think that's what it is also. Because New Yorkers, I mean, I love everybody here from wherever you came from, but New Yorkers got that fire. They got that passion, that energy that when you tap into it, it's infectious. I think that's why I'm here, because I wasn't going to take on another venture. I'm going to be honest with you, but I trusted the people. For example, Dustin brought me in this and Bambi. I trust the people. So people have to know, like, and trust you. And what really hit home, Ed, what you said is we are building a common unity. We're not just building just to get people to sign up. I don't want that. I want something where if we're on the same, like Hank said, on that same beach, we can look each other and say, hey, what's up? How are you? And really know that we have a common bond. Most network marketing companies that I've been in, it's kind of like, I can't even say it, but it's strained. This is not going to be that way. This is not an automated platform. We're just going to invite the whole world. We want people that we can actually have in our living room. At least that's what I'm getting from this. And I absolutely love sharing with my heart, with my soul, with my passion. And I love the fact that I see that here. And it's almost like if I can bottle you all, I would be a millionaire 10 times over and over and over and over and over. So thank you again for bringing this to the front. This is more than just a company. I feel it in my bones. This is not a conference call. This is a calling to reach out to everyone and change lives. So I'm very blessed to be here. Back to you, Ed.
Thank you so much. for that share. That's a great takeaway. If you're not inspired by your circle, you're living, it's a cage and not a circle. Like, I love that. Really great shares. Thank you all for being willing to be open and being transparent with some of your stories. I know all of you didn't get a chance to go, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from you as we move on. But I do want to be mindful of the time, because we're in a very unique position. And listen, this is going to go by so fast, it's going to make your head spin. You only have one time to be in pre-launch. You only have one time to actually officially launch a company. And typically that window is anywhere from 6 to 9 months, depending upon the company. So we have a window here. And as we look at the next 90 days, okay, I'm just using that as a parameter. I'm not saying anything is definitive at the end of 90 days, but let's just call it 90 days. And if you really make it your business to be present each day and to create a specific outcome at the end of your day, then you'll feel good about how you showed up. The results will take care of themselves. And there are some things that we're going to talk about as we move along, I promise you. All I'm asking is that you continue to show up today the way that you show up tomorrow the way you showed up today. Like, you all were very present, you were open, you were willing to engage, and you're starting to get that this is not the Ed Blunt show, it's not the John McKillop show or the Eric Allen show or the Scotty show or the Ed T show. It's a collective process, okay? And our job is to put everyone in the best position to have the greatest wins as you're moving throughout this journey. So remember, I heard this a while ago. Someone said, when you're in business and you're starting out, you're either going to be a prophet or a fraud. And because you're saying things that haven't taken place yet, you have the boldness to share your vision. And then you have the greater boldness to paint a greater vision for the entire company. And so you have to keep your feet to the fire. I want you to really take the point of view. And if some of you shared with your prospects the way that you shared on this call, you're going to get some really strong people. You'll attract some strong people to show up in your organization, whether they're customer, business, difference maker, or what have you. It's really about how you show up. So make it a productive day. What I would like for you to do is just keep a track of how many people you actually talk to today, because I'm going to ask you tomorrow, how many people did you talk to? Okay. How many people did you talk to today? How many people did you actually get on to a presentation? It's the easiest thing in the world. I promise you, to get somebody on the overview. We have links. We have, talk to your support leaders that might be doing something live. Just get those people in front of an experience, and then we'll talk more about that tomorrow. So have an awesome and amazing Winning Wednesday. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's keep making it do what it do. Let's go.
Let's get it.